Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. This is the English translation of the Majlis of Hazrat Maulana Qamar Uzzaman Saheb Damat Barakatuhum, which took place on Friday after the Magarib Salat at Darul Ma'arif al Islamiyya in Kareli, Allahabad, UP, India. Friday, the 12th of Rabi'ul Awwal 1447, the 5th of September 2025. Now, here our Hazrat Wala has an article in front of him. दौर फितना में इबादत की फजीलत व बशारत. दौर फितना में इबादत की फजीलत व बशारत. The merit of worship during the times of tribulation. There is for a person to be steadfast and to be on the deen at the time of tribulations is something very, very great. Now, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab, already in his time, he was already saying, fitno ka zamana hai, fitno ka zamana hai, that this is the time of fitna, of tribulations and tests. So here Mujaddid Al-Fithani is saying, this is the era about which Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam gave glad tidings to the ghuraba. He also said that engaging in Allah Ta'ala's worship at a time of fitna, at a time of tribulation is similar to making hijrat to Him, to migrating to Him. Now, look at the example here. When the police force and the army display even a little courage at times of tribulation and corruption, it creates some awe in the king. On the other hand, if they carry out countless duties and render numerous services during times of peace and stability, it is not considered. Now this shows that the real time for work and its acceptance is the time of tests, the time of tribulations. If you wish to be resurrected with the accepted servants of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on the day of Qiyamah, you will have to cast aside your own desires and follow nothing apart from the Sunnah way. Allahu Akbar. Look at the Ashab Kahf, the companions of the cave. It was a time of tribulation. They did just one act. They moved away from the place of evil and reached great heights because of that one act. You are, after all, the follower of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. You are a member of the best of nations. Do not waste your time in play and amusement. Do not be attracted to futile things like a child. Then the couplets there at the bottom reads that we have shown you a treasure which is the essence of life. If we have not been able to acquire it, maybe you will. Maybe you will. Now Hazrat Wala is saying that Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahab used to say that seek refuge in Allah against these trials and these tribulations. There were also khutut amongst the mashayikh and the akabirin that they wrote to one another, and in that expressing their fear at the time that they were passing through, meaning the time of fitna. Now, at that time our Hazrat Wala is saying that the biggest fitna there was elections. When the elections used to be taking place, voting, etc., then you would see such a type of ikhtilaf and differences, so much so that it would enter into homes and you would find these differences between the son and the father. The son and the father. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-fitan. Oh Allah, I seek refuge in you from the trials and tribulations. مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا وَمَا بَطَنَ, that which is exposed and that which is hidden, that which is zahir and that which is batin, all type of fitnas. وَمِنْ يَوْمِ السُّوءِ, and I seek refuge in you against an evil day. وَمِنْ لَيْلَةِ السُّوءِ, and I seek refuge in you against an evil night. وَمِنْ سَاعَةِ السُّوءِ وَمِنْ صَاحِبِ السُّوءِ, and I seek refuge in you against an evil hour and an evil companion. Now Allah Ta'ala protect us from these type of fitnas. Now Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib, it was at that time that his own brotherly, tribe people, family people dismissed, chased him out, did not even allow him to stay there. At that time there, Hazrat Maulana Shah Wasiullah Sahib, etc., they came then to Allahabad. So Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-fitan ma dhahara minha wa ma batan wa min yawmi su wa min laylati su wa min sa'ati su wa min sahibi su. Now, he used to mention and say that at least seek refuge in Allah against the fitnas, at least once a day. And who would be in the gathering? Seniors were there, ulama and mashayikh were there, Allama was even present at that time. You know, I used to think to myself that it comes in the hadith, how will fitnas come and penetrate into the homes? But at that time there, when I seen the elections, etc., especially more specifically in the villages and in the rural areas, what a type of fitna used to come. And there would be such type of ill feelings against one's own family members, because somebody would be voting here and somebody would be doing that, etc. And this matter would even reach to that of themselves standing up and killing one another. Now here in the dua also it is mentioned that we seeking refuge in Allah against the evil companion. Now that is also a very, very great fitna, trial and tribulation. So I am also asking you and requesting you to make dua for me in this regard. And every person should be sharp and alert. Look at how these fitnas are coming. They are entering into the madaris. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-fitan ma dhahara minha wa ma batan wa min yawmi as-su' wa min laylati as-su' wa min sa'ati as-su' wa min sahibi as-su'. So here we go through something again, the concern that Hazrat Sayyidina Abdul Qadir Jilani had for the preservation of the deen. Hazrat Shaykh Rahimahullah used to be intensely disturbed on seeing the religious and moral degeneration whose biggest center was Baghdad itself. He would observe the evil effects of a general religious deterioration which was pervading the Muslim world, and this would result in an Islamic fervor and religious self-respect to gush forth from his chest. There were times when he could not conceal these feelings of his heart, and they would flow like oceans in his speeches and in his lectures. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم بحرمة سيد النبي الكريم صلى الله عليه وسلم.